This is brand new on the market, that you can order the glucose monitors. They used to be, you can only get them prescribed. So I ordered a set about maybe a little over a month ago, and two of them came to me, so $50 each. And it has an app, and because of where I'm at, my mindset, and the fact that I know that you need to keep the glucose under control. You don't know what you don't know. So I wanted to see real time when I ate something what it was doing. So we know that carbohydrate, sugar, and can spike your blood sugar more. And it's interesting. A little cube of sugar will spike your blood sugar less than one slice of wheat bread. That doesn't sound right, but it's because of the long chain sugar molecules in the bread. Anyway, bread spikes your sugar pretty fast, and then protein does a spike too. Fat has very little influence on the sugar. Okay, here's a survey of this is my actual measured data here. You can see at the time of day. The black dots are entries that I put in there on what I ate and what I did. So I'm cutting here, so I'm not eating too many carbs. But you do see that I had this meal, and then it spiked up, and then it started coming back down. My goal is to try to keep it in the normal green range, and so here, what I had a real interesting thing is that this here, this is 11 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning. I see these spikes right here. Well, because I drink so much water, I tend to have to get up and urinate a few times. And then I get a little doggy that wants to go out. So that's 3 times I woke up. So when I woke up, it's spiking, but I'm not eating anything. And so I just recently had a checkup with my naturopath, and I told her that, I said, what's causing it? She says, the liver will store glucose, and when you wake up, all of a sudden you get a cortisol rush, and it releases a little bit of sugar into the bloodstream that's stored up. Oh, that makes sense, because I said I'm not eating anything. So for me as an engineer, and kind of maybe a little bit over the top, I like to see stuff like this, because it helps me understand how my body is responding to it. And then over here, I'm getting ready for my show coming up, so I actually increased my cards on purpose so you can see a little bit more expensive. But anyway, I would over a 30-day period. I was with 96% of the time I was within normal range, and so I'm in pretty good shape here now. Eggs are so important for us, and this is a whole topic, and I'm going to give you a couple videos to listen to so they can tell you, not me, because you might look at me and say, oh, you're full of caca. But I eat 8 whole eggs almost daily. I am not afraid of high cholesterol. Cholesterol does not cause heart disease, and the first video I'm going to show you will explain that. Cholesterol has 2 purposes in life. Good cholesterol is shuttling stuff back to the liver for processing, and bad cholesterol, it's called bad, but it's not really bad. It's a fireman. It's going to try to heal damage in the artery walls. What's caused the damage? Sugar has caused the damage. Glycation, which is a kind of a burning of sugars, that's what's causing the damage. And part of the reason why low cholesterol has been demonized is because every time they do an open heart surgery on a patient that has a lot of bad vascular problems and heart disease and plaque and everything, they see all this cholesterol. They're saying, oh, cholesterol is causing it. But that's the same thing as saying every time I see a fire, I see a whole bunch of firemen. They must be starting the fire. No, they're not. So anyway, I got a video that explains that one. So I have these doctors want to push me on the statins all the time, and I just won't do it. Real quick story: my brother-in-law and my sister, we travel with them to Europe and everywhere to do these cruises. He's 75 right now. A couple of years ago, we're on a trip, and I see that he's in this fog, and he's just he's walking through a crowded square in Europe, and I got up babysitting and whatnot. My sister said he's been getting more and more that way. And I said, is he on statins? And she says, yeah. I said, how long? She says, a couple of months. I says, you gotta get him out to statins. And I showed her some stuff, so she made an informed decision. Got him on statins. She called me 2 weeks later, and she says, huge cognitive increase. He's almost back where he was. So statins is really bad for a lot of reasons. And the fact is lowering cholesterol. Cholesterol is so important for us. The brain content matter is almost 60% made up of cholesterol. The shielding around the neurons is almost 100% of cholesterol. I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to get up here and just ramble and say a bunch of stuff to feel smart and tell you stuff and have you take notes and walk away and say, well, what do I do now? Because we've all been there. Well, just tell me what you want. That's what I was frustrated with the internet is the internet. Most of the people will talk to you for 40 minutes and they'll say, don't do this. And they'll talk to you for 40 minutes, get you sucked into it. And then they'll say, buy this. And that just irks me. And it's just like the used car salesman. They'll talk to you to the point where you feel invested and you got to do it. Okay, so there's a whole host of functional medicine guys out there, longevists, biologists, and whatnot, that have podcasts that will put out 1 or 2 minute podcasts a day that will talk about an element of why sugar is bad or why this, why that. And I listen to those almost daily now. It's kind of like my devotion. But I made this chart right here. I pulled this and changed the word. You know, we all know the old saying, I give you a fish and feed you for a day. I don't want this to be that. I want to teach you how to fish so you can take care of yourself for the rest of your life. So my saying is, give you a fish and feed you for a day, or teach you to fish and keep you healthy for a lifetime. So that's the introduction to what I'm going to show you here. I got 2 pages of these, and this is something that you could take a photograph of if you want to. But I highly recommend you go listen to these guys. Gary Breckel, he's fairly new on the scene. He spent 20 years working for the life insurance companies because he has a photographic memory. He's a human biologist, and he's not a board certified doctor, so he doesn't not train the same way. And he got so good that if he can look at 5 years of your medical records, then he could tell almost to within a month how long you have for longevity. And so, but he got tired, he got frustrated with that because he saw stuff that he knew that if he could only call the person and say, you have this chemical, this thing going on. If you change this, you can add 7, 10, 12 years to your life. But by law, he couldn't do that. So he stopped and started a health and wellness. He's wonderful. He will tell you everything up front. Now, he has a business, he'll sell stuff, but he's not doing what a lot of these guys are doing, where he's talking and he says, go do this. Anyway, all these guys here, the guy right here, he knows more about insulin response and almost anybody, and he shares it in such an easy way. So for all these, for the women, this guy is just phenomenal, physique-wise, and just her presentations and whatnot. So female hormones, there's a lot of good stuff. So I really recommend you start listening to some, and I'm going to show about 1 or 2 minutes of a couple of these, so you get a feel for what I'm talking about. Hopefully it will get you excited. Here's just another page of some more.
Could I get the packet for Wanda?
Yeah, I'm going to give her up.
I'm going to grab it.
Well.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, this has those charts in there. Like, Jebber here. Okay, so this is really the most important thing I could say to you today, because this is like, I could feed you one fish, or I could train you how to fish for yourself. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to jump down to the cholesterol one, and this is a longer podcast, but I'm only going to run about the first 2 minutes. And
the greater the financial interest in a given field, the less likely the research findings are to be true. The most lucrative drug in the history of medicine are statins. Most of those people taking statins are either low risk or high risk primary prevention. over a 5-year period taking a statin, the benefit is 1 in 100.
Big data proved otherwise, that there was no correlation between elevated LDL cholesterol and events of cardiovascular disease.
Actually, there is a correlation between LDL cholesterol and longevity. So the higher LDL, the longer you're going to live, because it has a vital role in the immune system. So just because cholesterol is at the scene of the crime doesn't mean it's a perpetrator.
What causes this to become inflamed? How does stress directly impact that?
So that's, you can listen to that longer, but that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is you get the experts saying this. So I listen so much, it starts becoming who I am, and everything I'm telling you is based on what I'm hearing here and consensus. So I got, it's probably worth showing this one here. I think we've all heard this, but
the food pyramid was a scam.
Yeah.
That's just the degree to which that's a scam is, I don't know. Is there a worse medical crime in history than that?
No, I mean, telling Americans to load up on 7 to 11 servings of grains every single day.
Yeah.
Like,
and to find out that that was a marketing ploy by the Department of Agriculture, and that they went against the advice even of their own consultants who warned them that they would produce an epidemic of obesity and diabetes, to say nothing of depression and dementia, which is exactly what we have now.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know what you even do when you find out that that's true.
Yeah, and the unwarranted demonization of natural fat-containing foods, nutrient-dense foods like animal-source foods, which continue to be demonized.
Even by the American Diabetic, is it Association Society? I don't remember which one is still pushing the notion that.
Okay, so again, I'm going to give you a list here of a lot more of these that you can listen to, so you can make your own decisions on. But before I started this last cut for this bodybuilding show, going into it where I'm really restricting what I'm eating to try to cut the weight off, and the heart, I've been doing this now for almost 10 years. Mitch has done it. We know how to lose weight. That's easy. The hard part is losing just the fat and keeping the muscle, because you can burn the muscle just fast. You can burn the muscle faster than the fat if you do it wrong. And so anyway, the point is that I'll change my diet. But I started on a carnivore diet for most of last year, where I'm just eating a beef. It's not lean beef. It's got fat in it. It's grass fed, so it's a little more expensive, and a lot of eggs. And I felt so good on that, satiated, because it doesn't have the sugar in it. It doesn't spike everything. It doesn't hit the serotonin. There's receptors in the back of the throat. When you eat something sweet, it gives you a dopamine hit, and it's a really good feeling. And it's a stronger urge than cocaine gives you. And so they're putting stuff into the food system on purpose to hit these receptors and increase your ghrelin, your appetite, that you want more and more, and they're advertising it that way. Lay's potato chip, but you can't just eat one. It's because we got the chemicals in there. If it was just nice, if apples that was cooked in the right kind of oils, it would be healthy for you. It would still have sugars, but it wouldn't have all the other stuff in there. French fries in the United States have 19 ingredients. This is McDonald's French fries. McDonald's French fries in the UK, because of their legal FDAs over there, has 7 ingredients, and you can read all those. They're whole food ingredients, salt and oil and so forth. Canada's the same way. That's why a lot of my products I get out of Canada. Our food system is just totally messed up, and I'm hoping that Robert Kennedy's going to change a lot. He's got a lot of the dyes banned out of the foods right now, and they're neurotoxins. So anyway, you can get me going on this. But there's a whole bunch of stuff on here on different ones. I think this is probably worth listening to.
And then maybe we'll have an opportunity to check it through.
So I can show you a lot more of those, and I think they're really cool, get you going. But what I've done is I put together a Word document that when I listen to one that I like, I copy the link and I email it to myself, and then later when I get time, I take all those and I put them into a Word. So I have a library system that I built up over the last year that has 136 different topics, and these are the topics: food pyramids, and bad seed oils, good seed oils, etc. And there's 200 videos in here. So now, once you start listening to these on social media, they'll start pinging you. The algorithm will start sending them to you too. Okay, so let me see. A lot of people ask me, what supplements do I take? That's not as important, but I want every morning. This is my regimen. What I drink throughout the day comes out of Canada, Allmax. It's called amino core, and then my drink before I go to the gym is going to be a creatine, a glutamine, carnitine, something called Impact. It's an accelerator. I like the feeling of having some energy. Anyway, and then this year it is a electrolyte and mineral salt. I just want to say, I got several videos on mineral salt. People and doctors are so afraid of salt because it's going to cause heart disease and whatnot. No. Not having enough salt is devastating, but if you only take a little bit of salt, then the body's pretty smart. It's going to say, I'm not getting enough, so it will hoard it and it'll keep it and it'll pull water on. But so we want, I take half a teaspoon of whole mineral salt every single day, or quarter teaspoon. I think I'm pretty much, I did want to mention this. You can go on, I said this earlier, biological versus physiological age. You can go do a survey or ask a bunch of questions. Again, most of the questions are stress related, but it's going to give you a number that says how you compare. So I just did mine at random right here. I did it a couple of days ago, and I am 69 and did. This says my biological age, about 56, about 10 years younger. It's a lot of subjective, but I've done a lot of them, and they seem to be fairly consistent. The trick is you don't want to be 69 all of a sudden instead of you're 79, because if you start talking about a lot of stress, then anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so I've been talking a lot. Obviously, it's a passion for me. Hopefully, it will invade some sense to you. But probably the most important thing would be the list of those YouTube and Facebook and Instagram pages so you can start listening to them. I think once you start listening to them, hopefully they'll encourage me to listen to more, and you can make some changes. So with that, I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you.